So I don't want to assume that I completely understand everything that you're saying, but I think you're getting your point touches on something that I had started talking about on my channel, and I think we need to return to, though within this short video, it's not going to really eloquently touch on the totality of what could be said. I personally and many others don't believe that humanity need religion. I've called it a leash before. It's a mental vice. It's a system. It's why empires love to leverage religion to control the societies that they invade, they conquer, and they use it to break down and control the people. It's a unified set of beliefs that are not just religious. They are also on how you to live and how the society is to be set up and who does what, where the woman's part in society is, the man's role. That's why they love all that binary kind of thinking. It makes human beings predictable. It's sickening where human beings need to start. And I am doing I will admit, some of my most heretical stuff, depending on what religious sect you come out of. So I just calling myself a critical thinker is it's not going to resonate, because there are some people, like if you take Christianity for example, you listen to apologists and you listen to the debaters, and you listen to those who are technically apologists, but they call themselves educated and learned people who know about the religion, but they aren't able to think and criticize the belief system, right? They'll just criticize the sect of Christianity. Yeah, well, those people would call me a heretic. So here I am. But just in short, mankind doesn't need religion. It's a vice. I've called it a leash before. That leash, it does not raise or condition a person to be a critical thinker, to be awake and to be aware of their life, what is going on, why they are who they are, where these thoughts came from. Was it your parents? Was it the society in which you worked, lived, and were raised, and currently live? And then you don't go through the critical analysis of whether or not you should even continue to believe that, and that critical analysis occurring outside of needing to reinforce some kind of a system like white supremacy, like this weird Judeo-Christian belief system, the Abrahamic religions. And so people end up not being able to look at what they've learned, look at where they've come from, look at where their society is, and say, hey, maybe there are things that are wrong, because they're always going to be fighting. They're going to be fighting to reinforce some kind of system that makes their life easier, whether it's misogyny and patriarchy, you know, mistreating women, whether it is racism and supremacy, whether it is the supremacy of your own religion. And people aren't able to think outside of those things. And because they're not able to do that, they're not able to make their world a better place. It's why religion isn't the answer, right? You're free to believe whatever you want to believe and however you want to believe it, as long as that belief just is yours and you're not forcing that on somebody else. But Christians have decided that it is the holy call of their religion, which is just the cult of current Christianity, the cult of self, in which they are seeking and focused on power and control rather than purifying their own character and gaining power and control over their own character. That's why I say religion is not where men need to start. Where men need to start is recognizing who they are, deconstructing what that is, going to use some therapy if you need it, and consistently deconstructing, thinking critically about every aspect of yourself. But humans are lazy. Humans don't want to do that. And in part, I need to shoot humans some bell. In this current capitalist system, under the current empires and systems under which we labor, you don't have time for it to a certain extent. Because depending on your ability to cogitate, to think, right, you don't got time. And then things are so traumatic for you, that the things that you were going through, no matter what your ethnicity, point of origin, things are so traumatic under this current capitalism, hyperinflation. You are just trying to find a point in your life to just zone out. You work the job you don't want to work. You don't make enough money. You are suffering from end to end. You don't have time to think of someone suffering, but yeah, you do. Take very small steps to be awake and aware to your plight and the plight of others, because then you might be able to realize that it is the class struggle that you are in, not the race struggle, not the you being against immigrant struggle. I mean, if a person could be awake and aware to class solidarity, then you might be able to take the little bit of time that you have to then go fight the real fight, is which it's against the greedy, those who are financial hoarders. Because to be rich and affluent is not, as it seems like in my content, that I'm anti-rich. I'm not anti-rich and affluent. I'm anti-greed. I'm anti-oppression. You looking at other groups of people, dehumanizing them, telling them that no matter how expensive it was to get their education, how much time they had to put into their craft, you shouldn't have to pay for it. And then you come up with lies, and then you pay, instead of paying your people, paying the people around you a decent wage and a decent amount for their arts, for their crafts, for their intelligence, you then go pay think tanks. You pay politicians to keep oppressing them. You invest in the criminalization of homelessness so that you can get more slaves. You invest in the criminalization of everything so that you can get more prisoners and get more low-paid slaves. This is 2025. They're still doing it. America cannot get itself out of it. So America, you'll have to watch my content on my predictions of where America's going. I've already told people, don't bet on America. They're going to give you, they're going to gaslight you and make you think it. They're going to be like, ooh, look, the interest rates on homes are down, but look, and then you're going to have to look at the price of everything else. The times you're about to walk through, it's why I say you're going to need to find an honest, far-seeing person. You can look at my content. I will give you general things for free, just because I'm trying to help out people who don't have money, but who just need help. That's where we should be. But I'm going to get back to this. Human beings don't need religion. Human beings need to start by believing in themselves. If you cannot believe in yourself, if you don't understand the basic structure of faith, because people think faith is having faith in something else. Your first obligation as a human being is to have faith in you, to love yourself, and to understand who you are, and to constantly and to critically think about that, and to build yourself up and to build your intellect out, whether it's just through reading things that are not dogma and motivated to educate you in or brainwash you into a certain system. But this has gone too long. So the reason why I say that people don't need religion is that until you can conquer the self, and because people think you need religion to conquer the self. No, if you cannot believe in yourself, you cannot love yourself, you cannot think critically, you cannot be awake and aware of yourself, and then take the time to be awake and aware of others and their struggle and their pain. Getting a religion ain't going to help you. It's just going to justify your selfishness. Oh my God. People can learn morality from looking and understanding the pain of others. How can people be Christians and fight alertness, wokeness, and awakeness? That's why I say cult of current Christianity. And if you're not following it, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I don't mean to make this long, but those first basic steps that I have outlined, human beings need to conquer that faith. Faith is the belief that something is or that something can be, and then you taking the steps to establish the thing that you think is or can be. And if you cannot get that kind of faith in your system for yourself, trying to apply that to a deity that someone else has taught you it exists is going to be problematic.